Hello everybody, today I just wanted to go over the quality of life changes that are coming in Season 2. So the first thing, we have 5 new in-game bosses, pretty cool. These are all going to be dropping apparently unique items that are specific to them, so I don't know if they mean full-on uniques or just some type of like cosmetic or something like that, so there could be potentially a ton of new uniques added. First thing I wanted to point out, I went over to, and I've already went over this in previous videos, so if you want to go check out how all that stuff works, go watch one of those. I really wanted to just highlight the quality of life stuff, but this is something that'll be pretty interesting in terms of just getting uniques, because you can farm Uber uniques off of the new boss Duriel, so that's going to be the main quality of life change that's going to be coming from this, is you will now actually be able to get Uber uniques, which is massive. Next thing, Legion events, you're actually going to be able to get to those more frequently. The time between Legion events has been reduced, and you have a 10-minute warning before the next one. Bosses are going to be more frequent, which makes sense because you're going to need them. You're going to need to fight them more in order to get the parts off them in order to fight the other Ubers. So the world boss warning timers have increased from 30 to 60 minutes, and you get a message that whenever they're 15 minutes away from spawning, which is nice because it's very annoying when you're trying to like do stuff and all of a sudden it's like going on and you just don't know. So hopefully that also, like, they also notify you while you're inside a nightmare dungeon as well. That would be really nice, so you can just go do it, stop what you're doing, go do that, and then go back to your nightmare dungeon, right? So they have increased the golden experience rewards from Hell Tides, Grim Favors, and just overall they've increased experience even just to get to level 100. The journey is going to be about 40% faster. So keep in mind, this is another massive buff because we already saw them do this again before, so it's not going to take anywhere near as much time now to hit level 100, and that was already the case in the first season, so they're speeding up the process to get to level 100, which is pretty nice. So preventing monsters from being less powerful as the character level increases and don't really matter. But anyways, and now the instances actually have a bonus to experience, and the bonuses are now all multiplicative with the world tier bonus. So you're actually going to get more bang for your buck out of your instance experience boost and your elixir experience boost. Nightmare dungeons. So backstabbers has been changed. This is pretty cool. Now it just makes you vulnerable and increases how much damage you take while you're vulnerable. Okay, cool. Monster attacks reduce the damage of your critical strikes by 3 seconds. Wait, what? Oh, for 3 seconds by X%. So this is the typo. Okay, that confused me for a second. My brain went into lag mode. Stacking up to, however much percent. So that's pretty cool. So it's not just like, hey, if they have this, I just can't do it. Because this was a pretty rough one for some of the builds that I played, so I didn't really like that. This is pretty big. Death Pulse nerf. So death pulses will no longer go off on monsters that already have explosions, which is pretty nice, because one thing that I didn't really care for was how many explosions were in the game, because it felt like you'd go jump into a pack of enemies and all of a sudden like everything would explode, and it's just like, oh, and then all of a sudden you have like 10 death pulses going off, so it's like, what the heck? Well, that doesn't happen anymore. It requires an open area for that to occur, so if there's already a death pulse there, another one's not going to happen. Lightning storms also getting some nice bonuses. So when you get shocked while you're in the protection dome, you get 35% increased movement speed, which is nice because it'll make this much more playable. So only starts when players are in combat as well, and only starts at the protection. So this is pretty cool. So like just while you're walking, you don't have to just stop, right? It's only going to happen while players are in combat. I think that's actually a good change. It adds like an aspect of fun and skill where it's like, okay, I gotta fight these things while also going into lightning storm, as opposed to just kind of running through the dungeon and it just kind of randomly going off and you just happen to stop and it feeling like a roadblock, right? Okay, so duration reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Respawn time increased by 2 seconds on Drifting Shade, so that's pretty cool. Another thing, they now give you sigils upon completing the dungeon, instead of making it to where they only drop if there's a final boss. Before you would only get them if there was a final boss, but now you'll get another sigil no matter what. Massively reduced backtracking by placing all dungeon objectives on the critical path of the dungeon, making it much harder to miss by taking a run turn. Dungeon layouts are better. They also removed objectives. I don't know where they set it at, but I do know that they also removed some objectives, so some of them are now just going to be final bosses. So in some of the more annoying ones, they've just kind of said, no, go fight the final boss, and it's done. Okay, item adjustments. So This one's pretty cool because they're giving you a ton of quality of life stuff. So you're going to be getting gems as a crafting material. I also believe you're going to be getting a gem crafting tab or a gem tab in your stash. Reduce the chance of being locked into certain stats on a legendary item by reducing their overall enchanting cost, which is nice because, dude, it was getting ridiculous how much I was, like, I was, you know, I knew people that were in like the 30 millions on rerolling, so that kind of sucks. Anyway, reduced overburdening inventories because now in World Tier 3, normal, magic, and non-sacred rare items will drop as crafting resources. And in World Tier 4, normal, magic, and non-ancestral rare items will drop as crafting resources. That's so. This is both a buff and a nerf. Yeah, so look at this. Gold drop rates in World Tiers 3 and 4 have been increased to compensate for this. So we're going to have to see what the compensation is like, because that actually kind of sucks that you lose all of that gold, because one thing that I would do is I would either sell or salvage depending on what I was doing. If I needed gold, you know, etc. So hopefully they really up this in order to compensate for that. Okay. So this just has to do with renown. It's not really, honestly, I don't think most people are even going to care about that. It's kind of whatever. 2 additional character slots have been added. That's pretty cool though. Also, prevented wasted minion and companion attacks by ensuring minions and companions no longer target vulnerable enemies. That's pretty nice, because there's been a lot of times where my minions would just start attacking things that are already dead or invulnerable, and that's pretty annoying. Mount speed. This is huge. Main thing I want to highlight is spur. Whenever you spur, you now break barricades. You don't have to get stuck on barricades anymore as long as you hold up a spur. The base speed has been increased. The cap has not been increased, but the base speed has been increased. So they reduce the ability cooldowns by 50% as well on like the dismounting and stuff like that, like the ability stuff you do when you jump off of it. Yeah, so you're less likely to get stuck on barriers and slow down unexpectedly, etc. So these are pretty nice changes. So town adjustments, additional stashes have been added to all capital cities. Reduce the need to travel to capital cities because they have now added stashes to all small towns with waypoints. Nice. So reduce the need for additional walking. Purveyor of Curiosities have set up shop closer to the waypoint in several capital cities. I like this because, dude, it was so annoying. I think it was Ked Bardu, where you have to walk like way off into the boonies in order to get to them. So that was kind of annoying. So it's pretty nice that they're making that closer. Improved so they're adding in 2 waypoints in each region. So instead of just doing one, they're putting, you know, probably like the main capital city one. And then they're, I guess they're adding 2 waypoints to help you kind of get around faster to get the other waypoints, because it was kind of annoying, you know, obviously when you start a new character and you have to like walk like 20 miles just to get all the waypoints. So this will be nice. Improve some, you know, just UI and stuff like that. That's no big deal. But yeah, so that's all the quality of life changes coming. Pretty cool stuff. I like all of it. I think all of it's really good. All of it's very necessary. Definitely a big thumbs up from me, for sure, on all of this. I think Season 2 is going to be an absolute blast. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.